You're alive. Too bad you will die.
Hello everybody! Today I have another run in Pokemon Emerald. Once again I am using a Pokemon that is part of a pair. For some reason there are a bunch of pairs in this region. I don't think I have ever used Illumise. While its stats are fine, especially for my standards, the move pool is not great. There are some decent moves, but a lot of them are physical, and Illumise's attack its worst stat. Anyway, let's quickly get over the rules. I can only use the starter in combat, I can't use any consumables in combat, I can't raise my evasion in any way, and I can't use cheats or glitches. I chose a nature to raise my special attack because even if I have just a couple of special attacks, I think they will be our best chance to win. I am a bit surprised that Illumise does not get any boosting move. I was expecting either Swords Dance or Tail Glow, since Voltorb learns the ladder by level up. The first few fights in the game should not be a problem. I only have Tackle for a while, which is not great, but my decent base stat total should carry me at least for a little bit. May was not exactly easy, but I defeated her with no resets. In the same fashion, the first grunt in the forest is not a challenge, but it could have ended poorly if I missed a few more times because of sand attack. Unfortunately, this is where the good time ends. The next major fight is Roxanne, and getting through her was quite an odyssey. I decided to level up all the way to level 29, so Illumise learned Flutter, which is the same as Swagger but raises special attack. Since she does not have any special moves on her team, it's effectively the same as Confuse Ray. I foolishly thought that Quick Attack plus the Leppa Berry would have been enough to defeat her team, but that was not the case, and I ran out of steam against the Nosepass. I could and maybe should have reset, but instead I PP stalled myself until I ran out of PPs for all my moves and started to use Struggle. Please like and subscribe so that my pain was not in vain. Pretty please? It might seem unlikely that a bug would survive stalling against a rock type, but between Confusion, Charm and Moonlight it was surprisingly easy. After the longest couple of minutes of my life, I am finally able to use Struggle. In this generation it does not have a type, so it does decent damage against Nosepass, and since the recoil is not fixed, I am able to finally take it down. Next up is the optional fight against May. Thankfully this one is much easier and quicker. Torchic was not a problem for now, but you never know what might happen in the future. Next up, since Bug resists fighting, I took on Brawly. I was not super confident in this one. Even if I have the type advantage, I only have physical moves, and if they start setting up with Bulk Up a bunch, they will be able to defeat me quite easily. Once again, Flutter has no drawbacks, so I tried using it a few times, but did not get so lucky with the RNG this time around. Because of all the healing, Makuhita lives for a long time, and he was able to set up. Unfortunately, between my poking with quick attack and him hitting himself a bit, even if it took a long time, the sumo wrestler got defeated and we earned the second badge of the region once again with no resets. I'm very surprised that we did not die yet. I don't think it will last for long, but you never know. Up next, there are the two Team Aqua grants in the museum. At least they did not take as long as the last couple of fights. Their Pokémons are very frail, so they die in one or two attacks each. Unfortunately, as far as learning moves through level, I am done, since I can only get Helping Hand, which is useless, and Covet, which is a worst thief. Anyway, once Archie is done talking, we can start the fight against May. I was quite worried about this match. She has a Pico with wing attack, and her starter can burn me to a crisp with Ember. I got a bit lucky since she did not get any crits or burns, so a few quick attacks later the threat is no longer on the screen and May is defeated. Up next is Watson, and I did not think there was any chance of beating him in the first attempt. For a smaller extra chance of success, I bought Thunderbolt, which is pretty much the best move Illumise can learn. Unfortunately, it is also resisted by all of his Pokémons, so not great. Even if that's the case, it is doing a lot of damage and it is even a 2-shot on Magneton. Color me surprised. Oh, what's that? You hit me, Manectric? Well, let me munch on your berry. Yoink! The fight takes a bit longer because of potions, but I have too much HP left for him to defeat me, so soon the Manectric goes down too. I don't know how, but we are still at 0 resets. I'm starting to hope that it will change soon. I don't want Illumise to beat out Kyogre and such. Maybe Maxi can take us out. Well, it was not an easy fight, but he could not quite do it. Because of Intimidate, Camerupt takes a few hits to go down, but thankfully he does not have very strong moves either. His best option would be Ember, but he decided not to use it, so that's pretty much all he wrote. Zubat is too weak, so Maxi is done, and he did very little damage to me. Surely Flannery can do better. She is a fire-type gym leader, so she has to defeat me at least once or twice, right? Fortunately or not, depending on your perspective, that is not the case. I have Thunderbolt for Torkoal, but it does nothing to Camerupt. Just like Maxi, her AI decided to take a vacation and she just used Tackle on me, over and over and over again. Torkoal could still be a problem, but instead it throws away his opportunity by using Sunny Day. Is there anything that can stop this little demon? Maybe our dad. He proved to be very strong in the past. Nope. I guess I underestimated Illumise's special attack because it is going very far with just Thunderbolt. I am also taking much less damage than I expected with the 50 base defense, and if they don't take me out fast, I can always heal with the Moonlight. Slacking is smart and tries to put me to sleep, so I can't move for a few turns. It is a decent strategy and it could have worked if only his AI actually attacked me instead of using yawn again. Oh well, Illumise wakes up after a little bit and takes out his slot Pokemon. We then get Surf, which Illumise can't learn, so we just have to use it to progress through the story. After driving away more Team Aqua people from the Weather Institute, we have to defeat May again. Her team is not very good and we have Thunderbolt now, so she has no chance of defeating us. Illumise's ability is quite niche, but I do not think there is a whole lot of use for it in a single player. It makes it so we can't get infatuated, which only Flannery and Juan use. Up next, we have to defeat Winona for the 6th badge. While she has the type advantage, I have Thunderbolt, so that flips the odds in my favor. I misclicked against her lead, but Swablu did not use Paris' song immediately, so we are fine. Tropius crits me, but that's not a big deal. I can take a turn or two to use Moonlight and heal back up. Altaria leaves a hit since it is neutral, and I get a very lucky paralysis as it starts to set up in my face. I take it out the next turn with a high roll, and from there the fight is over, since everything else is weak to electric. Might as well do the last fight against May, since we are nearby. Again, her theme is nothing to write home about, since it did not improve much from the last time. I am starting to think that Grovyle would have been a stronger starter for her, since it resists electric and Illumise can't learn any bug moves. I guess I could have used the aerial ace TM, but I kinda forgot about it for the whole game. After we have dealt with May, we must go back and take care of Maxi, but like usual we are too late to stop him and he challenges us. Oh, so God can bleed. Yep, Maxi 2, of all things, is the first dude who managed to take down Illumise. It required some luck on his part as I hit myself in confusion 3 times in a row, but hey, if we take lucky wins, so do the NPCs. The second attempt is not much easier than the first one, to be fair. Camerupt is hard to take down and it can seriously hurt me with a rock slide. Crobat outspeeds, but I survive with less than 10% HP. After we are done with Maxi, we have to travel to Moss Deep to attempt the next gym. Tate and Liza are kinda scary, but not that much. I have super effective moves against them, but they are also a 2v1 fight. I am not sure why, but Claydol started spamming earthquakes against me instead of using ancient power, so I took the questionable decision to leave it for last while I took down the other Pokémons. The little damage he does to me, I can heal by stealing their lives with the Giga Drain. It is super effective, but it does not even two-shot Lunaton because of its solid special defense. I was half expecting Claydol to randomly switch and get an ancient power boost, but it never happened. It must have a choice item because I have no idea why the AI thought that move would do more damage. Up next, as we all know, it's the longest fight in the game. You might think that since we are up against Maxi again, this fight will be hard, but that is not exactly the case. For whatever reason, this one is generally easier than the rest. It might be because I am not alone, or because you often have better moves. The Intimidate lowers my attack, which makes the Camerupts even harder to defeat. But fortunately, Steven is there to help us if he decides to hit them. This time he did not do it and had to pay for it because Metang went down in 2 earthquakes. Steven then sent out Skarmory, who is immune to it, but generally has less damage output compared to the pseudo-legendary. I healed up once because I did not want to die to a crit takedown or something dumb like that. It took a while, but at least we are through the fight with no resets. For our troubles, we earned the Dive HM, also called Sub in Italian, and we have to make our way to the Archie fight. I am not sure why a kid has to do everything in this universe, but since we are here, I guess we can take down Discount Maxi too. Since he uses a Sharpedo instead of Camerupt, he is a lot easier since it is weak to both Thunderbolt and Giga Drain, so I am a spoiler for choice this time. While the teacher Rayquaza stops the 2 legendary bullies, you can take a second to scroll down and leave a like and subscribe if you feel like it. Also ring the bell, and since you are already there, write something in the comments, please. After the cutscene is over, we can take on the last gym. Juan should be easy. I have Thunderbolt for most of his team, and Giga Drain for Whiscash since it is immune to electric. I misclicked against him once, but fixed the problem next turn by destroying the catfish. The rest of the team falls to Thunderbolt. The only thing that could be problematic is Kingdra, since it is neutral to boot and can always be a problem with double team and rest. As predicted, it is quite a problem. Thunderbolt is a 3-hit KO, so I will have to land 3 in a row. Otherwise, it will have the opportunity to use rest again and recover all of his HP. I don't think that the odds are in my favor, but I just need it to happen once before I ran out of PPs for my moves. It took a few turns to get it, but at last the seahorse goes down. Once we collected all 8 of the badges in the region, we can finally enter the Victory Road. Here, as usual, we find Wally, who stops us, and this time his team is a bit scarier than usual. Altaria sets up in front of me, and it is definitely worth for him because not long after he uses Aerial Ace and takes away half of my HP. The rest of his team is easier and I can restore some HP against the Delcatti, but it looked grim there for a second. I could have easily died to a crit. The other thing I was worried about is a Toxic from Roselia, because it and Gardevoir will take a couple of turns each to take down. Thankfully Wally does not use it, so I can take my time defeating his last Pokémon. Thunderbolt might have been better, but I don't really know how the damage calculation plays out against Gardevoir, all things considered. Time to start the league with just one reset. Let's see if we can keep it like that. First, we have to take down Sidney, and he is kinda problematic. The main problem is the two grass types, since I don't really have anything to hit them. I got a brick break, but between my poor attack and my Tiena's intimidate, it does not do a whole lot. Until Shift uses Swagger, which puts me at the +1 attack. So all of a sudden, the fighting move is not looking so bad. Once I stop hitting myself, I can heal and then go back on the offensive. Not sure why I used Thunderbolt against Cacturn. Brick Break is obviously better. It does not really matter because he misses Cotton Spore, but even if he could slow me down, the fight is over. Next up is Pheobe, and I unfortunately lost once to her because of course. I tried healing through it with Moonlight, but her Pokémons did too much damage. During the second attempt, Dusclops misses the second Protect, so I get some free damage on him and can finish it a few turns later. The rest of her team is not very easy because most of them can leave a hit, but without Curse I can outlast them thanks to Moonlight and Giga Drain. The fight still took a while because my damage output is not very good and Phoebe has a few potions, but at least the chances of losing were minimal at this point. Sebly, as usual, tries to go for the RNG strategy with a double team, but it does not work out for her. So a couple of turns later, we are done with the Phoebe too. With that, we are halfway through the Elite Four. With that, we are halfway done with the Elite Four. The next one is Glacia, and I think she will be an easier fight. All of her Pokémons are weak to at least one of my moves, so I can do a lot of damage to her. There is always the chance that I get frozen by a random ice beam, but that is only a 10% chance, so hopefully it will not happen. And even if it does, I should hopefully thaw out before they can kill me. Illumise's special defense is quite good, so I can take a hit or two. I made her waste her potions on the second Glalie so that she could not use them on Walrein, and then I get a crit. Give me a second while I throw that plan in the fire. I think Drake heard me because he kindly brought the flames, but overdid it a little bit, and so Illumise had to go down a few times. As expected, Drake was the main problem in this run. Unfortunately, if you don't have a move for him, he is always able to strike me down. If you are aware of any way to make Drake easier, let me know in the comments. The main problem, at least this time, is that Shelgon is often going to slow me down with a Rock Tomb, and then the other Pokémons in his team can outspeed and do a lot of damage before I can take them out. It would be fine if I had Ice Beam, since I could one-shot most of them, but unfortunately the best I can do is a Thunderbolt or Giga Drain for Flygon. Salamence is very strong, so I could not recover with the Moonlight or even rest. I just had to hope I could take him down before dying. I managed to sneak in a Moonlight while Drake was using a full restore. That might have saved me, but even after Salamence dies, the fight is not over because just like with Juan, this Kingdra could screw me over with RNG, but fortunately it's a two-shot, so we dodged a bullet there. Last but not least is Wallace, and of course he had to take me down once. Leech Seed from Ludicolo is too OP. Maybe I should do a run with that move. Card in the top right of the screen. Even if I have Thunderbolt and Giga Drain, who are both super effective on his water team, this match was quite scary. Tentacruel could have used Toxic, but instead sprays some water on me. Then, as I mentioned earlier, Ludicolo could be a big problem with Leech Seed, and unfortunately my moves are just neutral on him. In this attempt, he pretty much used all of the other moves in his arsenal, so even if I had to spend a good number of turns against him, I did not get seeded, which is a huge relief. I then recovered most of my HP thanks to the catfish. Gyarados explodes because of Thunderbolt, and we are finally at his last Pokemon. As I hoped, Milotic is a two-shot, so I can finish the fight the next turn and earn the title of Champion of the Hoenn region. I guess I underestimated Illumise because its performance is stellar compared to what I was expecting. Thank you for watching, I hope you liked the video, both metaphorically and literally. Do not forget to subscribe and ring the bell so that you will be notified. See you next week. Bye!